Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Pregame from the Pond, Madison Mallard Pregame Show. Derek Brizendine alongside Alec Dopp. And Alec, that was like a marathon last night.
Something else, man. I tell you what, it was 3 hours and 40 minutes long. It's the longest game I've ever been to. I don't know about yourself, but yeah, it was something else. A lot of hits, a lot of pitching changes, which we'll get into. Kind of recap that in a little bit here, but it was something else to be sure.
And I mean, you would have expected in a 3 hour, 40-minute game some extra innings, some drama. There wasn't much drama, and there were absolutely no extra innings. It was a 9-inning game, so it was just a very, very odd game.
It was. I mean, Kalamazoo comes out in the top of the first. They score a run, and then Anthony Gonsolin provides that 2-run home run at the bottom of the first, and that was the only lead change, I believe, of the night. And from that point forward, really, I mean, Kalamazoo really, for a lack of a better word, kind of steamrolled their way through Mallard's pitching, which had a rough night. It's going to happen. But, Kalamazoo, they've had a down year, and they're due to burst out kind of like that. And it was quite the scene, I guess you could say, last night for them.
And it was a different Kalamazoo team because, second half starting up, getting in all the players that we've been at the College World Series or doing something else. And now teams are finally starting to come together and really be their own and have all their players. And that makes a huge difference.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, first off, it needs to be stated that, when you get new players, it's tough to mesh right away. And we saw that a little bit of those problems with the Mallards last night, and we'll get into that. But as far as Kalamazoo, I mean, this is a brand new season for them. Started the second half. They were, by all means, the worst team in the league the first half with only 8 wins. But, you turn the page, and they got some great hitters over there, great pitching too. So they've definitely turned the page last night.
And, I mean, anybody can make a push here in the second half because Slate started at 0-0 last night. The overall record, it's still there. But for the second half push here, it was 0-0. Everybody started clean. Everybody's got a fair chance at making the playoffs. And I think that's the great thing about this league is that no matter what you're like in the first half, that second half, you've still got just as good of a chance as the guy next to you.
Definitely, and I know the minor leagues do something like that too with a first half, kind of second half thing, who goes to the playoffs. But, I mean, it definitely adds to the intrigue. I mean, the season is short, but it's also long in a sense, kind of. So it adds to the intrigue and, the excitement of the game. And it's, a great opportunity for some of these clubs who didn't perform as well in the first half, like Kalamazoo, to kind of, right the ship and kind of see what they can do in the second half.
And the Mallards last night, having really what was a completely different lineup there, had 4 guys that we haven't seen in the starting lineup before in the starting lineup last night. So that was kind of interesting to see Donnie wasting no time to get those guys in.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, those guys can provide a lot of offense, especially here early, and they did. Roll Coleman had 2 walks. He didn't have a hit, but he did advance a runner on a ground out last night from the top of the lineup, and he has a lot of base stealing ability. He's from Vanderbilt. He had a great season with them, the Commodores. And Charlie Cody from Virginia, who was also playing against Roll Coleman in the national championship game, the College World Series. He's got talent too. Bryce Carter from Stanford, just a freshman last year with the Cardinal. He's got potential, and then you throw in,
Logan Browning there.
Logan Browning from Florida, he just had a double last night, I think, and a walk. And he played a great center field last night too. And it's great to see some of these guys show a little bit of what they can do potential-wise right from the get-go.
And Browning, he really, really surprised me because you think a pitcher, not too many pitchers nowadays can really hit the ball all that well. They might get a few hits here and there, but he was very consistent last night up at the plate, and that was big to have there in the 9-hole with then the top of the lineup up, and I think that's where the Mallards did the most damage last night.
Yeah, definitely. Logan Browning, he had that double like we mentioned, and he has a great approach at the plate. He didn't get a lot of playing time with the Gators this spring, but they like him from the left side of the mound. He pitched in relief in the doubleheader at La Crosse last week to finish up the first half of the season. So he's kind of a dual threat along with Anthony Gonsolin for the Mallards, and I think he offers a lot of value in many different respects. He can really hit anywhere in the lineup save for probably the cleanup spot, but he's got some pop. He's a shorter guy, but he knows how to play, and he's got instincts especially in center field. I mean, he's going to play a great glove.
And as we look forward to tonight, Dalton Despain's out on the mound, and we need a big performance out of him because that bullpen, they got worked last night.
They did. 6 different guys from the bullpen coming out and pitching last night, and I think Weston Wheatrick really struggled early on, and he was probably due for one of those rough starts. He had a really good start to the season. But yeah, Dalton Despain, if anyone's going to give the Mallards a good start tonight, I would probably say it's him. Coming off that 6-inning shutout with 9 strikeouts last, I think it was June 23rd against Wisconsin Rapids. It doesn't really get much better than that from a performance standpoint in the Northwoods League. And he's definitely a prospect and someone Donnie Scott feels like, hey, I can give you the ball and he's going to give a solid outing at any point.
Definitely those bats are going to have to be back tonight like they were last night. Anthony Gonsolin swung a great bat last night. And it was one of those nights where no matter what the Mallards did, you thought they were going to get going, and then before you knew it, Kalamazoo was back up to bat, and they score a run and counter.
It was really something else. I mean, we can't really say it enough. I mean, I think Kalamazoo they scored in the 2nd inning straight through the 7th inning, I believe, the 6th inning, and it was like, it was crazy. I mean, there were a ton of walks from both teams last night, a lot of lack of command, you could say, in a way. But, yeah, it was something else last night.
Those bats for Kalamazoo just kept coming through big and time again. Nick Yarnell, big lefty there, he put the ball in play every time, and it just seemed like that way all the way up and down that Kalamazoo lineup, that no matter what happened, you felt like they were going to put the ball in play and make the Mallards make a play.
It's really interesting that you bring that up, Derek, because, Ro Coleman, who played second base for the Mallards last night in his debut, I wouldn't say that he played a bad second base, but, I think a lot of credit goes to Kalamazoo, excuse me, for, kind of exposing that gap at first base and second base, because that was where probably 7 of their hits were just kind of ground balls, bleeders through that hole. And, I mean, some of those are going to begin to even out as we progress here. They can't all fall for hits or squeeze through the holes, I guess you could say. But, they saw a weakness or at least something to exploit, and they took advantage of it. So all the credit to the Kalamazoo.
Well, I'm sure Donnie Scott's got a game plan ready to go tonight. Need to get back out there, get a big win. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.